Welcome to 10 Interesting Facts, 1978. 1. First test. Tube baby. On July 25th, 1978, Louise Brown was born in Oldham, England, becoming the world's first test tube baby through in vitro fertilization, IVF.
This is Mrs. Leslie Brown, who is now 38 weeks pregnant, and she's had a persistent toxemia. All our tests have shown that the growth of the baby is satisfactory and that it's mature. My anaesthetist is Dr. Finley Campbell. Dr. John Webster is assisting. My theatre sister is Sister Astral. This is a girl, as was expected. Baby's in pretty good condition, third. We can now hand it to our...
The baby cried at 20 seconds.
2. Jonestown Massacre. On November 18th, 1978, more than 900 members of the People's Temple cult died in Jonestown, Guyana, in what is known as the Jonestown Massacre, including a mass suicide orchestrated by Jim Jones.
I went to Jonestown, Guyana in March of '78. I wanted to leave Jonestown almost as soon as I got there. We were searched and surrendered our passports. We had armed security. It was very regimented. I felt trapped in Jonestown. No one left. Jim Jones dropped any and all religious fronts. He was very paranoid. The whole idea of Congressman Ryan coming to Jonestown was extremely threatening to Jim Jones. When Congressman Ryan arrived, there was a welcoming dinner for him that evening in the pavilion. The atmosphere was extremely tense. And we had been rehearsed over and over again what to answer, be on your best behavior.
There are some people here who believe that this is the best thing that ever happened in their whole life.
I had slipped a note to Congressman Ryan. The note said, "Help us get out of Jonestown." I spoke to Jackie Spear the next day. I decided they were my ticket out of Jonestown.
3. Camp David Accords. In September, Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, with the mediation of U.S. President Jimmy Carter, signed the Camp David Accords, leading to a peace treaty between Egypt and Israel in 1979.
Egyptian President Anwar Sadat shocked and angered the Arab world by standing in the Knesset in 1977 and declaring that he sought peace between Egypt and Israel. The next year, Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin and President Sadat met repeatedly in the United States for the historic Camp David Accords. Finally, a peace treaty between Egypt and Israel was signed on March 26, 1979. Menachem Begin agreed to return to Egypt 91% of the territory Israel had won in the Six-Day War, and willingly gave up the strategic and economic benefits of the Sinai Peninsula. The sacrifices were painful, but peace with Egypt was the first step in achieving the peace and security Israel's people had sought for decades.
4. First women astronauts. NASA announced the first group of women astronauts in January 1978, including Sally Ride, who would later become the first American woman in space.
Sally Ride was America's first woman in space. She was one of 6 women who were selected together in 1978 to enter the U.S. Astronaut Corps. Sally Ride's personality was very open, friendly. She had a relaxed style about her, but an intensity of focus. She was selected to fly first for reasons known only to NASA. She really plunged into astronaut training with a great degree of discipline, worked very hard and impressed all of the senior astronauts and the trainers with her abilities. Sally Ride was a mission specialist on the 7th Space Shuttle mission, and her principal role was to operate the robotic arm, known as the RMS arm, the Robotic Manipulator System.
You can see slight oscillations in the arm, but it's really doing just about exactly what I'm commanding it to do. And it turned out to be a very easy task, and it's no problem at all.
She was
5. Garfield debuts. The comic strip Garfield created by Jim Davis, made its nationwide debut on June 19, 1978, becoming one of the most widely syndicated comics in the world. Grease. The film Grease, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, premiered and became a cultural phenomenon, capturing the nostalgia of the 1950s with record-breaking box office success.
Come on back.
In 1978 FIFA World Cup, Argentina hosted and won the 1978 FIFA World Cup, defeating the Netherlands in the final. This was the first time the tournament was held in South America since 1962. Sony Walkman. Although officially released in Japan in 1979, the prototype of the Sony Walkman was developed in 1978, revolutionizing personal music listening.
Walkman.
ソニーの歩くステレオウォークマン。ヘッドホンで話せるホットライン付き。
どうぞ。ウォークマン。
ステレオが部屋を出た。ウォークマン。ソニー。
9. Serial killer Ted Bundy's capture. Ted Bundy was captured in February in '78 in Florida after a series of murders, bringing one of the most notorious serial killer cases closer to an end.
Bundy, the law school student from Tacoma. He escaped from jail in Colorado last New Year's Eve, but was back in jail by mid-February. He was recaptured in Pensacola, Florida, and has since been charged with 3 more murders in that state. He is still wanted in Colorado, where he was awaiting trial when he escaped from the jail at Glenwood Springs. He's awaiting 2 separate trials in Tallahassee, Florida now on those 3 murder charges. Colorado still wants him for the murder of a nurse 4 years ago, and Utah wants him too, to begin serving a sentence on a kidnapping conviction in 1976. 1978 was not a good year for Ted Bundy, but the future doesn't look any too bright for him either. Ray Walters, Eyewitness News.
10. Blizzard of 1978. In January, the northeastern United States experienced one of the worst blizzards in history, causing significant disruption with deep snow, high winds, and numerous fatalities.
The wind is so strong that I can hardly even catch my breath. I'm standing next to what used to be one of the bus shelters right on Public Square.
Thanks for watching. Like, sub, and share with a friend.